Okay, what is up with it? We got Elijah Quimby, the OPTCG Grinder, and is our first time interviewing someone on the podcast. I actually went to my first regional with Dallas Regionals. I met him, and I kind of got. I remember getting grab bladed out of life. I was like in such a good position, and then he kind of rolled me from there. But then I saw a YouTube thing in my YouTube video in my For You thing, and I saw I paid $1,000 so that you guys don't have to for coaching. And then I'm like, wait, I know this guy. And then I was like, that you uploaded so many videos. And I thought, this guy actually, this is the one thing we've been missing from the One Piece community. It's like, we actually need high quality commentated gameplay. Cause I think learning the game is kind of unintuitive for a lot of players. Cause there's a lot of concepts like tempo that are hard to quantify, or finding your win condition. People just play the card on curve, right? Shout out yellow players. And then he went 17-1, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, 17-1.
One Piece State Dallas. And I thought, what a perfect opportunity to have him on the podcast. And so, do you want to say a little bit about yourself? That's my intro of you.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. My name's Elijah. I run OPTCG Grinder. Shout out to Austin Collins, the DB Grinder. I come from a Yu-Gi-Oh background. I started in 2007 after leaving Yu-Gi-Oh basically about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago to the day. And when I joined the game, it was just as you said, it was super unintuitive to me. I don't know if either of you guys have played Yu-Gi-Oh or anything, but I always say when I started playing One Piece, I was the worst player ever because I was really, really good at Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly. And just so many things in One Piece were very unintuitive to me because of that, I feel like. I kept trying to play it like it was Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was tough the first week I was playing it. But I was playing it and I kept wanting something to exist my channel where it's kind of like DB Grinder, where we're watching high level replays of good players and then talking about the plays and why we should do some things, what could be the alternatives. And it just didn't exist. And eventually I decided you know what, I think by now I'm pretty decent at the game. I've been playing for about 3 months. I've been playing with some good players. I've hit rank 1 on the sim a bunch of times. I don't have a top yet, but I feel pretty confident that I'm pretty decent at the game. And I just decided run it. We need it. We need it in the community. So I decided to start the channel. And I've been uploading every single day since then.
Every day.
Perfect. Bro, I feel like your One Piece Day win counts as a top, bro.
Oh, yeah, now. I'm saying when I started the channel.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, One Piece Day 100% counts. And then
I remember
even before One Piece Day in December, I got a top 8 in an online treasure cup. I'd count that.
Okay.
I remember watching your first video, and you said you went X3 at Dallas, and that was a huge disappointment. I'm like, wow, this guy's really must be has high expectations. It's really sick, actually.
Yeah, I would say my goal going into every event, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh or One Piece, has always been I go into the event super prepared, feeling good, and my goal and my expectation is to win the event. So my first regional, when I go X3, I'm like, wow, this is awful. It didn't even make top cut. I know that I'm, if top cut was 64 players or whatever, I know I'm one of the 64 best players in the room. This is a huge disappointment to me.
Yeah. And I remember when I first started playing, all I could watch was Cross AI, because he was the only content player who's content creator who was also a top player, but he doesn't put out much gameplay videos. I kind of wish he did more of that. A lot of it was getting kept behind Patreon too, and so I kind of wanted there should be your channel is what we needed in the scene, right? But I wanted to get through the rapid fire questions before we get into the meat of it, because I think we're starting to get into the meat of it. So I'm going to ask you 15 questions, no justification necessary for anything. Just give us your take. I'm going to try to hold back my reactions to any of them. We'll react and call you whack afterwards, but are you ready, Elijah?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
What's your go-to snack?
I'm a little nervous.
Oh, what's your go-to snack?
Lil Debbie oatmeal cream cookies.
Goated.
Best local restaurant for lunch?
My girlfriend's cooking.
Gotcha.
Favorite season of the year?
Summer.
Favorite musical artist?
Kendrick Lamar.
Best Straw Hat Pirate besides Luffy.
Oh, Chopper.
Strongest One Piece character you could beat in a fight yourself.
Oh my God, none of them.
1 billion lions.
You can't even be Wolf Slap.
Sorry.
I think you can be the Wolf Slap.
Maybe.
Wolf Slap. 1 billion lions or every One Piece character. Who would win a fight?
Every One Piece character.
Favorite color in the game?
Maybe black. Maybe purple. It's close.
Least favorite color in the game?
Green.
Favorite rogue deck?
Sugar.
Deck you're most excited to play in the future?
Green, purple, Luffy.
Your favorite card art of all time?
Championship Rebecca.
Oh, sick. If you had to ban a leader, no questions asked.
Nami.
If you had to ban a card, no questions asked.
ACOS Kid.
Favorite format you've played in?
The one I won a championship in.
Okay, that's all
There
I
you
have
go.
for you. That was sick, actually.
Coming from a Yu-Gi-Oh background, how do you see like Yu-Gi-Oh and One Piece going forward? Because I always feel like because Yu-Gi-Oh's in that third place, but Konami is kind of a very shady company here in the West. I feel like Bandai will eventually overtake them for One Piece taking that third place spot. Do you think so too, or do you think Yu-Gi-Oh still has like that entrenched fan base that'll just keep them going forever?
I don't know if it's cope or what, but I'm so bullish on One Piece. I think the game is so good. I think the popularity of the anime is just going to keep expanding, especially with them making the One Piece, the live action. I just feel like everything Bandai has done, they're like so good. I think they don't get enough credit for a lot of the really smart things that they do, in my opinion.
For sure.
And honestly, I'm so bullish. I could see them within the next 10 years overtaking Magic for number 2. Honestly,
I think
like
I can see that too.
I think
I'm super bullish on the game.
With the way Wizards of the Coast handles the game right now and the like current like how players feel about the game for Magic, I can see that too. Because Konami and Wizards are both just trying to rip off their player bases.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, like if you don't respect your players, they're just gonna drop the game for something that will respect them.
Absolutely.
Pokemon though, that'll always be number one. That's
we'll never overtake Pokemon.
Big Pikachu can never be moved.
Yeah. Pokemon will die and Pokemon will be number 1.
You know, I was like listening to a Pokemon video today, and they said they could print blank cards and people would still buy Pokemon cards. You know, like
100%.
Like the collector base is crazy right now.
Yeah.
Well, basically, me and Jaden used to work at the shop. I work at Tabletop Village, and like my job is to actually just go to different elementary schools and teach kids how to play Pokemon. So I just have a job in playing Pokemon TCG, mostly just One Piece.
That's sick.
Yeah. But yeah, I had some questions for you. Yeah, and so you said you started playing OPO7, and like you mentioned like being the worst player in the world in OPO7. Like, how did you go from like being the worst player in the world to like when you first started? Like, what was unintuitive, and how'd you like overcome that? I guess.
Yeah, no, I was actually so bad. Like, I had so many habits from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like day one that were just like really bad. Like, I remember I was playing with the homie Norbu. We were both learning it at the same time, and I queued up. I don't remember exactly what deck I queued up. It was maybe like Sokka or something, because you know I'm the type of person who's always gonna play the best deck, and he queued up like an L. And like 5 games in a row, I played my character and then swung with leader, because you know in Yu-Gi-Oh you have the main phase and then the battle phase. And so I do that, and 5 games in a row I lost because he hits a trigger that KOs my thing, and just every time I'm screaming. I'm like, there's no way. Like, why can't I learn? So definitely, yeah, I would say like day one I was so bad. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing because like I had this idea that like I'm a good card game player. But I think ultimately, even though I started really poorly, I do think I am pretty good at card games generally, and I think a lot of it is like my passion for the game is how I've gotten so good so quickly. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, I was always like a huge grinder, like just always grinding the sim. And One Piece exactly the same, where it's like I think if you you know, I see a lot of people complain about like not necessarily having the resources that they need to get better. But I think you can do so much. Like there are a lot of resources online. If you just play a bunch of ranked sim, like the ladder is going to put you where you belong to be. If you're not able to break, you know, top 100, top 10, top 1, there's a lot of great players that play on there. And the reason that you're not able to win more games and get up there is because you're doing something wrong. So if you just play a ton of games, you're honest with yourself, you do VOD review, I think you can make a ton of progress really, really quickly.
I think to your credit also on ranked sim, like in a game like One Piece, you actually play so few cards a game, you know what I mean, that like you can really tell like, oh, I went for this like tempo play, I like went to like play a character instead of like actually just swinging to kill them, you know, and I should just push that advantage, right? Like recognizing where you have an advantage, I think is, I don't know how to say I feel like One Piece and the path to improving like makes sense, you know what I mean, like I feel like very obviously, like sometimes you can get super punished for misplay, like just like playing a character before like swinging, right? And then I also feel like that phase agnostic gameplay adds a lot of depth to the game. I really like the decision tree of the attacker having the advantage, like changing your line based on like how your opponent reacts.
I love
it. I love the whole like scouting information thing. Like you should just basically know most of your opponent's hand, like through just playing the game normally, you know, like having hand reads. It's not like I think I really love that part about the gameplay too.
Yeah, absolutely, completely agree.
We bring this up a lot when we talk about like the OP11 leaders, but like specifically for Katakuri, how they designed the Purple Cat to look at your opponent's top life or top deck, and we talk about how undervalued that skill really is in high tier competitive play, because like most of the good players, they just know what you have in your hand. You'll know, right? So getting to look at the exact card really isn't that helpful when you know like the average deck list and you know what's in their hand currently. So I think Bandai oftentimes they like overestimate the those abilities, and they make them overcosted when really they're just free for every player who's good enough.
Yeah, making hand reads is super important for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what was your impetus behind, we talked about like your reasons for creating OPTCG Grinder, and like we talked about like what it meant for like this is a missing piece in the community for like a lot of new players to get better, but like what does making the videos do for you and your goals? Like, are you just using it for VOD review, and are you just like hosting like personal VOD reviews, or like what do you get out of making videos for your channel?
I don't know if I've really made the channel necessarily to get anything out of it. Like, I guess like the thing is like, I kind of view the channel mostly as like everything that I do on the channel, I would just do anyways. So it's like really low risk, where it's like I would watch this game regardless of if the channel existed. So it's like, why not just click the record button, right? If there's like a ban list, like I would just be talking with my friends about it anyways, right? So like might as well just give my thoughts and put it out there, right? I don't really know if I really get a whole lot out of the channel. I mean, I guess like the number one thing I get out of it, which I really didn't expect, because really when I made the channel, my expectations were 100% like I'll post a few replays and they'll get like 50 views, and then like no one will really watch them, and then I'll stop and it will be whatever, right? But it kind of exploded pretty quickly. So I'd say like the number one thing I've gotten out of it is like just like I guess people's admiration. Like at Orlando, I had 17 people come up to me and say like they're a big fan of the channel, and like anytime anyone does that sort of thing, it's like it means the world to me. Like it's so awesome. It makes my day every single time. And then like I don't even,
and like it means a lot. You're like just doing stuff that you would do anyways, and people, it somehow means a lot to other people, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like it's just like really no cost to me. I just feel like, you know, this is something that lacked in the community that I want to exist, and if no one else is gonna do it, like might as well be me, right?
Yeah, I think channels like that are super helpful, especially when if you're like a busy person, you can't constantly play the game. Watching somebody else play at a high level is just as impactful. Like if you're at work listening to it, it's super helpful because you get to practice mentally without actually having to spend the time doing it, which is super duper helpful.
For sure, it's a huge shortcut.
Yeah.
Helpful, very helpful.
Yeah, I remember like watching a bunch of your first few like Doflamingo videos, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's like talks a lot about these lines. I'm just gonna like play rank sim and only play Doflamingo, and then like just like grind Doflamingo, right? Like following like lines that you were talking about, and I was like sharing with my friends, and I think I hit like 500 million my first like night playing it. It was cool. First time playing rank sim. It was pretty sweet.
Best deck.
I felt like your channel, I think a lot of content creators, they get like burnt out, like making content, like thinking about like numbers or like hitting specific goals or like dreams of being content creation. I think it's really cool. Like I as like a musician, I feel like the best thing to do is like do stuff that you would just like yourself, right? Like be your own biggest fan. And I thought that was like, I don't know. I feel like that's the most sustainable way to do it because like you won't burn out if you're always enjoying it, right? It's just stuff that you would have like wanted to do to begin with.
Yeah, literally every single thing I do for the channel, like that's something I already would be doing. Like every single video, I would already be watching it. Every single reaction, like I'd already be thinking and talking about those things. Like a lot of the things that like aren't on the channel that are missing, that people ask for a lot, like they ask for like guides and all that stuff. Like I would love to make those things. I think they could be really helpful, but like the main reason why I haven't done it is because like that's not something I would be doing anyways. Like for me, the channel is like an outlet for me to do the things that I would already be doing that I think can help others. So I'm a little lazy, to be honest. Like it seems like I'm not, because I post videos every single day, but like I don't do anything that I wouldn't be doing anyway. So
no, I get it, bro. Like it's because I'm the one who does the editing for us, so a lot of our stuff comes out a little late because I'm busy, and the days I'm not busy, I'm like, I'm feeling lazy. So like when you have to pump out stuff all the time, it's very easy to get burnt out if you're not really enjoying it.
I feel I think there are other channels for that kind of thing too, like guides and whatnot, like deck overviews and whatnot. Like for example, Seafood King has a great Patreon. They have like all these deck overviews and like matchup charts and everything too. I just don't see you as the kind of guy who would like try to find the next best rogue deck, you know, like or like try to make a guide towards playing a deck that you're not into. Like I feel like I watch this channel to watch this one dude just play Doflamingo and get big dubs. I don't know. Like really.
Yeah, it's in the name, bro. The grinder. Yeah. He's grinding.
The grinder. Yeah, I'm grinding. Yeah, I think rogue decks are cute. Like I just streamed myself playing Sugar. I've like played some bow on stream before. Like that's all fun, but 99% of my
I remember I watched it. You didn't like, I don't feel like you enjoyed it at all. Like it's not like your thing.
I just enjoy broken things, bro. I just want to win and like have my opponent feel powerless, and Boa's like slightly too fair compared to Doflamingo, so it's like, you know, I wish I was just playing Doflamingo.
I think we have this like joke on the podcast that Jaden's Sanji, I'm Zoro, and Henry's Luffy, and that Jaden and Sanji Jaden and like Henry, my other two hosts, are just like very like, this deck could be good. It has this really cool mechanic, and I'm like, it's not busted. I don't think it's like that. Like I don't think it's good. It's like, what do you do against Doflamingo? This deck's garbage. You know, I keep thinking that.
Yeah.
And
we're very idealistic.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I was thinking about is like, I switched from playing like more like just fun decks. Like I think I played Zoro from sets 1 through 5, right? Like I could have just like switched to a black deck, and I was like doing well at locals with like more roguish decks, right? I played like RP Law before it was good, and I was like playing to like every local too, right? And I kept thinking to myself like, oh, I'm gonna switch to a good deck. So I like switched to, after like we ran what's called a Conquest League with me and my friends, where you bring 3 decks to a set and then you try to win on each 3 to win the set. We had like a league where we played that. I was like grinding like every single deck in the format. I was thinking like, oh, I'm getting way better at this game, just like playing like real serious decks. And I thought the reason like, oh, I should switch to like broken decks, because I was like, I think I have like good fundamentals, and I think that I'm like not a bad player, and I should take myself more seriously by playing a good deck rather than like just memeing. Like if I can't tell myself, oh, I could just play a good deck and win, when I'm not like winning, right? I don't even think I could win with like, you know, great decks all the time, right? Like, is that kind of your mentality too? Like you want to take yourself seriously by playing good decks?
My mentality is like, I just want to win. I'm a hyper competitive person. No matter what I do, I always just want to win. And to me, the number one solution to winning is you play the best deck. So it doesn't matter what it is. Like earlier I said, like, I'm not a huge fan of green. I'm not a fan of 8-cost kid. Like if, you know, the ban list comes out and somehow the perfect number of things get banned where Bonnie is the best deck in OP10, you can bet I'll be playing it. I'll be slamming that kid on the table and I'll say, good luck, bucko.
There you go. I've seen your ban list video before, but have you had any like changes in your mind after seeing like the early OP11 meta stuff?
really in that video, for anyone who hasn't watched it, like I wasn't really necessarily trying to make like predictions or say what I think should happen. Mostly just trying to put some options out there, what different players think and different philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if it were up to me, what happens on the ban list, honestly, I don't even know if I'd do anything. Like, I think it doesn't even necessarily make sense to do anything. Like, obviously in OP09, Doflamingo is too strong. Just genuinely, he's the only deck that you should play. Like, you can make an argument.
No, I agree.
In certain formats, like for Worlds, Doflamingo's probably not the best choice. Like, it's probably either BY or maybe even Bonnie. Honestly, Bonnie could be maybe the best deck for that format.
Bro.
Yeah, I think
Bonnie is good into all those like really strong meta decks that people want to bring, like Dofi and BY.
Yeah, I only know of one person bringing Bonnie to Worlds, but I think they have a very, very strong chance to win the tournament, honestly.
Oh, heck
but
yeah.
in an actual open like tournament, whether it be a regional or a treasure cup or even Nats, honestly, like everyone is too busy coping on Shanks, Ploofy, Blackbeard, all these trash decks that it's like,
honestly,
the only deck you can bring is Dofi. It's the only deck because he just destroys all of those while also having good matchups into the less cope decks.
Yeah, Shanks is a brick, and you're breaking just to go 50-50, like at full power. Like, why would you play that deck, right? Like,
it ain't even 50-50.
It's not 50-50. You still lose to Dofi. Like, you just get rolled by Dofi.
You still hella lose to Dofi.
You get rolled as BY. Sorry, not BY. You get rolled
Yeah.
as Ploofy, right? Like, you either play like you either meta call and play BY, or you play Dofi, right? Like, that's it.
Yeah, only two options. Only two options right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like. I don't know, because like, right, like everyone says that OP09, like I think Kai said it's just a revolving door around Doflamingo. Why not just like play? If you're playing not Doflamingo, you're spinning the wheel, right? Like you're just spinning the wheel.
Yeah, just play the wheel, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's way better. Yeah.
I think
spin around it, just
they
play
could
the
do for the ban list is if they just ban Dofi for set 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fun for us here in the West. We get like a fresh format. I don't think he's really a big problem in the East right now.
No.
And the way they seem to have designed set 11, they designed it with Dofi in mind.
Oh,
like
100%.
All the leaders are good into him except for Shirahoshi, who's just a bad leader. But that's just how every set is. It's always a bad one.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine them being like, oh, we're gonna have a ban list, but also we're gonna develop this whole set for a card that we're planning on banning. This doesn't make any sense.
There's only one identity for green decks, like that is. Okay, maybe green, yeah, purple Luffy's different, but green decks are all protect President Kid or like lose, or like right, or lose while protect President Kid, right? That's just it.
Yeah.
If your green leader doesn't
so lame.
have like protect President Kid into its like leader ability, it's not a good deck, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
I really look forward to them continuing to make green decks that are a little different than that, because like I think all the colors are cool in different ways, and to me the thing that's really cool about green is like restanding, whether it's like Dawn or characters. Like that sort of mechanic to me is super cool. The problem is we haven't really had leaders that do that stuff really great. Like in OP10 we do have Smoker. Having Cavendish on a leader is really cool to me, and then GP obviously is like the turbo nuts of that. But like the whole freeze and rest and protect President Kid, like it's just kind of uninteractive and not that cool to me, honestly.
I've always said that green needs a mechanic where you flip your opponent's cards face down and they have to pay 2 Dawn and flip them back over rested. I think that would have been cool, because like the green navy style stuff, like sending people to jail, just so that you have like kind of like a purple aspect to your game plan where it's like your opponent can either just leave this here or they lose 2 Dawn on their next turn to get it back. And I've always thought stuff like that's pretty interesting. But I do like that Bandai has not mechanic crept the game at all in the first 2 years. I think when we get set 13, we get the 3 brothers. For sure, we might get some new mechanics. But so far, I do like that they're trying to flesh out as much as they can with their current set of rules before they start adding more stuff to the game.
Yeah. It's really impressive to me, all the different ways they've been able to expand the game without expanding the game.
Yeah, coming from
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh especially, right?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, we would have expanded this shit already for
Yeah,
sure.
every 3 years, bro, we're getting a new color card.
Yeah.
Something about, I think you would have really liked OPO 1 through 4, like playing Red Green Law, because that deck was like really into it had like, we played Restand Law, and I feel like it was the most interactive. I feel like sets 1 through 4 were like actually a super interactive meta game, and it focused more on like attacking picking targets to attack, and what I really call like the decision like tree of attacking and like poking and like that influencing your things. You're playing for the turn. I think One Piece becomes more and more of play the card on curve that beats your opponent's card on curve, you know? And I don't really like that so much as like having a like freeform game plan. I do like that Doflamingo has more flexibility in its lines, but it is kind of like just pick the line that beats your opponent, right? Like straight up enumerating those options. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of decks like that.
Yeah, I like the older sets for that reason. Yeah.
That's actually part of the reason why I'm like, me personally, I wouldn't necessarily do anything with the ban list right now, is because it's kind of hard for me to imagine that for set 10 we're gonna be able to have a deck like, if Doflamingo's gone, let's say they ban the leader, right? It's hard for me to imagine that the next like best deck is going to be one with a lot of decision trees that is different than just like, oh, I play this card on curve. Based on like what we know, right? Like the other decks that could potentially be good is like Lucci, obviously BY, but I think both of those decks, if we lose Dofi, I have to imagine we're also losing Moria, is just what I think would probably happen. So then we have like Blackbeard, we have like Shanks, we have like Ploofy, and a lot of these decks are just like, I play my card on curve. And so like for me, the number one thing that I want is I just want the best deck to be as skill expressive as possible. That's like really all I care about from a balancing perspective. I don't care if that means that it's the only playable deck. I don't care if that means there's 3 playable decks or 10 playable decks. As long as the best deck is the one that is very skill expressive and takes a lot of thought, that's what I look for.
For sure.
I think Dofi is that.
No, I can't imagine that. I think if it's in set 10, if Dofi was banned for the format, I think it would just be a super heavy like Usopp Blackbeard meta. For sure. I think Blackbeard coming in the set 10 is very strong, but the only thing that really holds him back is like the super aggro leader that just spits out infinite bodies. And I think where he is right now, if he could just lessen that aggro a bit, I think he'd be in a great spot.
I actually go the other direction. I actually think Dofi protects Blackbeard in 10. I think they have this really weird relationship where they both cover each other's weaknesses. Like Dofi can have a hard time, I guess, not really actually, to be honest, into like BY and the Bonnies of the world or whatever, right? Not actually, but like technically kind of almost. And Blackbeard like destroys those things. But the things that actually truly destroy Blackbeard, like truly like unwinnable, is like red rush aggro. And those strategies are just, they get a lot of really good cards in OP10 and the structure deck that released today. Like that 5-drop Luffy is absolutely custom. The Zoro is good, the Sanji, the Chopper, like all these cards printed in that structure deck and OP10 are all really good red cards. And I think you can super easily build a really strong like Shank strategy or Zoro strategy or something that like actually Blackbeard has 0 chance to win. Because if you actually just go 3 Dawn Zoro, 5 Dawn Luffy, 7 Dawn like Luffy, 9 Dawn Dragon, like they just blow up 100%. And I think the only reason you can't really play those strategies is because Doflamingo, like it's impossible to race Doflamingo, right? Yeah. So I actually think in a like my current expectation is if Doflamingo and Moria are gone, I actually think Blackbeard will be worse in the West than it was the East, which sounds super weird, but that would be my expectation at the moment.
I think both of them in conjunction actually create like a pretty healthy meta, right? Like I think playing the control decks sounds pretty terrible into Blackbeard, but like the fact that Blackbeard has a bad Dofi matchup is like, oh, okay, like I don't have to like worry about its meta share to play like my deck. Like I'm enabled to play like Bonnie or Lucci because of Dofi beating Blackbeard, right? Like I can, if I wanted to play those decks into Dofi, I would, right? In this meta, and I think that like I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have Dofi in the meta than not. You know, I'd rather have it protect me from Blackbeard playing the other.
I'm biased, but me too.
Yeah, I think.
But really, seriously, without Dofi, I really don't think Blackbeard's going to be a problem. To be honest, I actually think that Red is just going to destroy it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of see that right now happening in the East, where they have Snake Man, who's like pretty much accepted to be the best deck in the format, and then you see Zoro come back for like the first time in like 9 months, just because they just need the absolute all-out aggro.
I think it's cool.
I think the same thing would happen where you would have Blackbeard around, aggro decks would show up, Lucci would show up, and then Blackbeard would come back. And it would just be this triangle of like Blackbeard, Lucci, and Zoro just constantly swooping through.
For sure.
I do think that I like it when aggro has a place in the meta, because if control's like too powerful, just like the biggest control deck wins, right? Yeah. The one with the basically control versus control is always like which deck has the best bombs against the other deck, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
whenever control is like the BDIF, players just don't like the game. Like control is inherently unfun. I always think it's more, we all talk about this too, you know, and it's always more healthy for an aggro deck to be BDIF than a control deck. Because like the whole point of control is just like, I get to play the game, you don't get to play the game. But if that's every match, right, you go to your locals, you don't get to play any games. Like you're just gonna drop the game. That's why I think leaders like Law and Sakazuki are way more dangerous for like the health of the game than Doflamingo is. You know, as my example is always like, would you rather get Thanos snapped out of existence or just get hit by a semi-truck? I'd rather just get hit by a semi-truck. At least I know I have a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance, you know, maybe.
For sure.
I realized we never actually asked Elijah about his One Piece Day Dallas win. Like we should probably the reason we have him on the pod, we should just probably talk about that a little bit. What kind of preparation did you do for your win at One Piece Day, and like what do you think like what changed between like Dallas Regionals or like whatever your last tournament was until One Piece Day? Like how did you arrive at that point?
It's actually super crazy. I talked about earlier how I go into every tournament, you know, hoping to win, expecting to win. And of course I had those expectations for Dallas as well, but out of all the in-person events I have attended, it was actually the one I felt the least confident going into. And the reason for that is like all these other events I've grinded like a ton of games, you know, both sim and playing with testing partners. And I always walk away from those like feeling extremely confident, especially like a lot of times like I'll queue up sim like a couple nights before a big event and I'll just win like 20 in a row and I'll be like, I'm the GOAT, like let's go. But this event actually I was just like, because of the channel and I've had so many people hit me up for coaching, like so many, along with, you know, real life stuff. I actually was like not playing very much, so I was feeling a little rusty. I wasn't feeling that good going into it, and so my preparation was basically just like me doing the channel and me doing coaching, and then like the day before I got, you know, a bunch of games in with like my testing partners and kind of got some of that rust off and just took it one round at a time.
What I know you say that you expect to win going into it, expecting to win. What do you? I feel like my friend Cameron Kawasaki, shout outs to him. He coaches Pokemon. He talks about like how you just have to like trust that you're gonna win, right? Like you just have to like just assume you're gonna win, like going into something. Like you can't trust your lines or like even make lines correctly if you're not feeling confident, right? So like what do you feel like helps you develop that like X factor or conqueror's hockey, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's just knowing that I put the work in, right? Like I play versus countless people, whether it be locals or sim or testing groups or whatever. Like I play so much, I know what my preparation is. I know that I'm gonna have probably the best deck list in the room. I'm not just going to be playing the best deck. I'm going to have the deck list that's the most refined because I've just played more than everyone else. I've put in the work. I've seen what works, what doesn't work, and just have to trust that, you know, hopefully we get a little bit lucky and we get there, right?
There you go.
You trust your preparation more than anyone else's?
For sure, for sure. I think just my preparation and my commitment. Like, part of the reason why I was able to get away with not playing a lot of games going into Dallas is like I already have like 1,200 games on Doflamingo since 8.5 release.
That's
like
amazing.
maybe even more
Holy
than
crap.
that. It's like literally easily over 1,000. Easily over 1,000.
Wow. I know top Pokemon players talk about that too. Like, there's no shortcut to like just being good at the game. Like, they show us that like the amount of games that they play, and it's like they play like 8 hours a day or like 6 hours a day, right? Like, it's just straight up just getting that confidence from it, right? Knowing your lines.
Nothing's gonna prepare you except for just repetition. You know, it's like playing a concert. You need to know every note and where it should play and where it should land.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like that's what I always tell people too. When people come to our store and they're like, "I feel like I'm not good at this game," I'm just like, "You just have to play the game more." There's just certain things that you won't understand until you do them a bunch of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel like even if I don't play the game for a long time, my sense of the game is always around, just because I played so many games. So it's just like, even though I don't know what I'm playing, I'm just like, I know what to do most of the time, right? I just know, because like, would you like to explain your idea of tempo, Elijah, to us? Like, how do you see it?
I was hoping we would get to talk about this.
Oh, okay.
I have had tempo explained to me by so many good players. They're like, Elijah, I'm going to sit you down. I'm going to explain tempo to you. And every time I smile and I nod. And at the end of it, I'm like, none of that makes any sense. You guys are just capping. Everyone explains it differently. It's the most ambiguous word ever. To me, it just means who's ever ahead. That's all it means to me.
That's all it is.
That's all I mean.
That's all it is to me. Whoever is ahead. That's all it means to me.
My tempo shortcut is I usually just count like cards in hand, cards on board, and then cards in life. And then there's no equation for it. My brain just automatically calculates it. And I'm like, either I'm losing or I'm winning. You know?
See, to me, that's more card advantage.
Right.
Because like, if you have 15 cards, but I have an 8-drop kid on board, and you can't out it, I'm ahead on tempo. Because you're losing, you can't out it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have 100 cards. If you cannot out my kid, I win the game.
Right.
I mean,
true. Okay.
I think it's hard to like weight it. There's no like equation for it, because you can weight it. Like, if you have like, if it's Doflamingo's turn and it's and they have Dawnfer and you have 10 cards in hand, you're getting pudding, right? Like, straight up, it's the advantage you accrue can like disappear, right? Like, if you don't have an out to 8-cost kid, it's out, right? I think it's, I mean, it's what you said, like, whoever's ahead, but I think it's hard to explain to new players, like, what position are you in to like win the game, right? Is it like better to just play? I think a lot of like yellow players will just like, back in like OPO like 3, they would just on 10 Dawn, they're like staring at like a lethal board situation, they'll still just play 10 Mom, and I'm like, yeah, this is so bad. Like, why would you ever do that, right?
Bro, the tunnel vision is there. You have to play her. She's like whispering in your ear, bro.
Why did you play the deck if you didn't play 10 Mom?
The Green Goblin Mask.
Yeah, the Green Goblin Mask. Why am I playing Katakuri if I'm not going to play the 10 Mom? Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, tempo. I don't know nothing about that, man. That shit is so fake to me.
You know, there's a saying that it's like there's no definition for pornography, but you know it when you see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree.
The same way.
Yeah,
it's like I can't explain it, but if I see it, I can tell you what it is.
I mean, we always talk about this when we discuss cards, right, Jaden? I'm like, this is a slow, like, why would you play this card? It's such a slow play for how much Dawn it is, right? This card's too slow to play in this deck. This card's doesn't get you ahead enough. It's not breaking the game enough, you know?
Yeah. I think my One Piece Jehovah Witnessism gets in the way of my card, evaluation sometimes.
You're just like,
you know what I mean? I feel like I'm such a big fan that I'm like, my biases get in the way of me being like, I'm like, oh, this is bro, Cat has to be good. I love Cat. He has to be the bomb, and he's not. But I'll defend him because I'm like, my brain wants him to be. You know? Yeah, I've been working on it lately, trying to get more of a competitive mindset. I just think that I like the IP so much. Sometimes it clouds my judgment. You know?
I think a lot of players run into that. You know, like shout out to Vampire Gaming. Like, he is always trying to play red because he loves Ace, he loves Shanks, and like, he's a phenomenal player. Maybe he would have won One Piece Day if he just put that time in Doflamingo, honestly.
Yeah, it's so hard, bro. That's why I feel like the players who don't know shit about like the anime or the manga are usually some of the best ones because there's no emotional bias holding them back from their decisions. Whereas I feel like the players who are like super duper into the IP, they're like, this is the best thing, but this is the coolest thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what am I gonna choose, right? Am I gonna play something that I don't particularly like but I know is good, or am I gonna play something that I really enjoy but I know is not as good? I think a lot of players, when they get to that question, they have a really hard time finding the answer for themselves because it's like, I think a lot of people, they love the experience more than they love winning, and oftentimes that is like the thing that stops them from making the correct choice. Whereas the players like you who are just like, I just want to win, that'll always lead them to like the most optimal choice in those situations.
I think the people playing their favorites know what they're getting into, you know? I think they understand. Like they
don't.
They don't know what they're getting into?
I don't think they do either, bro.
They don't. They're always coping,
I'm just
bro.
like, I'm gonna win today with this ass deck, bro. I know, I believe in myself.
I think you don't know you're coping when you make that call, Jaden.
I kind of know, but I'm in denial.
Dude, you know? I know they don't know. Vampire, you know, I played him on feature round 8, and you know, going into that match, he was like, "Hey, just so you know, like, it's my birthday. I'm winning today. Like, I'm winning the whole event." He's like, "I'm sorry, like, you don't have a chance. You're just losing." So I know they're coping on their favorite, bro. Because I'm telling you, if he just put as much time as he put into red as he on Doflamingo, like maybe he does. He's a phenomenal player, right? So
yeah. No, it's hard, especially with the IP like One Piece, because I feel like people have strong emotional attachment to characters. Because the way Oda writes, he wants you to be so emotionally attached. And when it comes to these like this crossroads of like competitiveness and emotion, those two things almost never mix well. So it's a little cope. I understand. I'm on both sides. Like if I'm playing like a treasure cup, I'm gonna play the best deck I'm gonna play the deck that I'm the best at.
Wait, right? I want to hold.
Versus like if I'm just going to locals, I'm like, I could probably win today at pudding if I tried really hard. You know.
I want to back up a little bit. Why are we throwing shade at Pure Gaming? That guy is like so nice.
Shade. I said he's a great player several times.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I love him. I think he's great. I said over and over again, he's a great player.
Well, then I'll throw shade at him again.
He was coping on Shanks. It's
okay. We all do it, you know. I admit to doing it. Sometimes you get blinded by your love for your 2D anime, man. Like they're so beautiful.
No, I love Vampire. Literally amazing guy. No shade at all. If anything, I'm trying to give him more credit, saying like, hey, he could have won the event.
If he played a good
I see what you're trying to say, bro.
That's fair.
Yeah. If he didn't cope on Shanks, right?
He told me that he loves Ace the most, not because of Marineford, because of Alabasta, like anime only stuff. Like apparently Ace does more in Alabasta in the anime than the manga. Like I've never.
He does. He just does a bunch of random fuck shit. He's like a terror to the town, and he's like, all right, well, you guys take care of my brother. I got somebody to go find. I'm gone.
I think literally.
No, Ace is super cool in Alabasta. He's really like maxed out aura right there.
He literally wins less fights on screen than Sakura does in Naruto. Like straight up. Like
that's real.
That's real.
Crazy.
He loses every fight in the anime or in the manga. He loses every single fight. What's a fight he's won?
He ties with Jinbei. He loses to Blackbeard. He loses to Sakazuki. Those are his 3 fights.
He's lost every fight.
0 feats.
Yeah, literally.
Max aura, 0 feats.
Elijah, I was telling him about this. What they should do for the next One Piece movie this year is it should be One Piece movie Ace, and it should be Ace. Do you know who Hanafuda is?
Nope.
How caught up are you in the anime and the manga?
Last time I consumed the media was like 11 years ago. It was right before Punk Hazard.
Okay. See, this is what I mean, bro. People who are not super into it, bro, they're the best players because they don't give a It's such a good advantage, bro. And the thing that irritates me sometimes is that like the best players, they don't give a fuck about the IP, but like a lot of the people looking for the media for the game are super into the IP, right? And there's that disconnect between the best players and the people who love the IP, because a lot of the best players, they don't even know how to pronounce half the fucking names, right? But they're like, it doesn't matter, I'm getting the dub, right?
Yeah.
And the people who are just like, I love these characters, please talk about them more. And people are like, I don't fucking know. But
I love Luffy. Luffy,
exactly. Yeah.
I love Luffy.
Bro. My pick for the next One Piece movie, bro, is One Piece movie Ace, where Ace basically fights a T-Rex man. That's the pitch of the movie.
Okay.
I
love Ace too. Ace is sick. Ace
bro,
is
wouldn't
sick.
that be so dope, bro?
Yeah. I love Ace. I'm hella down for more Ace. Honestly, you could make an argument Ace is my favorite character. Like him and Luffy, those are the two that I really rock with.
You're not a Sabo fan? Fake Ace?
Sabo's British Ace, dude. They just brought Ace back to life and made him British.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of what Sabo does is like after I stopped like really consuming the media,
For
right?
sure.
So
Yeah.
a lot less commitment to Sabo.
I have to get one of those Men in Black, like fucking mind wiping devices, and I have to just delete my memory of the show. And then I think I would just be like way better.
No, straight up. I don't know. Ace is. I think people like Ace because he has fire powers and walks around shirtless. He's lost every fight in the manga.
He's just the aura man, bro.
He
hot
has
and
infinite
hot.
aura. That's all it is. And his relationship with Luffy is beautiful.
I even love his relationship with Blackbeard, not Blackbeard, Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Ace is
also
also a very,
awesome.
very well written character. Everything about him is so well written.
Just a
It's
likable.
funny because I read, I think it was an interview that said that Oda's least favorite character was Ace.
Oh, really?
He didn't like Ace.
Oh, for real?
Oh, wow.
I don't know why he didn't like Ace. Maybe it was like writer's remorse or something. I can't imagine that he likes Sabo more than Ace. That's the thing that really is like sticking in my mind because like you said that you don't like Ace. You replaced Ace with Sabo. The whole community is like Ace is better than Sabo. Yet you were just I don't know. I don't get it. Something in there is really just tickling his brain.
I
have no clue.
That's crazy because Oda like wouldn't kill anyone until he killed Ace, right? Like,
Yeah,
just
doesn't that make
straight
sense
up.
now?
I guess that makes
It
sense,
does
yeah.
kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
He
like
didn't
this
even
dude.
tell
Like, get
that,
him
bro.
out of here.
Pal survived getting a nuke to the face, and then it was over for Ace. One punch.
I heard it was because that manga chapter aired like a few months after 9/11. Like that's why they couldn't
that
kill
makes
Pell. The thing. Yeah.
My headcanon is that just because he's a Zoan, he just tanked it.
Yeah.
We've never seen a Zoan user die in the show ever, I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think any of them have ever died. And all of them just have like the most insane durability feats. Like I'm pretty sure Kaido's probably still alive. They just punch him through like 15 layers of magma and he's just like
He was
I'm
the
gonna-
one that I was wondering about. Like, he's not like 100,000% confirmed dead, but if
I don't
there
think so,
was
yeah.
someone, then it
Yeah.
would be him.
Definitely. But like all the other zones, bro, they just get fucking abused throughout the whole show. None of them die. They just get up. And that's like my in-universe theory. They're just like, yeah, it's the zone, bro. You gotta like stab him through the heart to kill him. Like a bomb, they can tank a bomb. You know, they might be fried for a little bit, but they're gonna get back up eventually.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, and do we have any more questions for Elijah?
No, I think I have to head out soon. We should title this podcast "Stop Watching the Manga Now." OPTCG Grinder interview with OPTCG Grinder. But I don't know. It was really fun having you on, Elijah. Thanks for agreeing to come on.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
Where can we find you for our listeners?
OPTCG Grinder on YouTube, on Twitter it's at OPTCG Grinder. I think those are really the only two places to find me.
That's all you really need, bro.
Yeah, check out Elijah. He's sick. You won't miss him. He'll probably get more tops and wins in the future too.
You're gonna see him
For
again.
sure, yeah.
Sure.
We're gonna
For
see
sure.
more of Elijah.
More to come.
I'm excited to see more of Elijah, honestly. Yeah. Anyway,
Thanks so much for coming, bro. Really appreciate it. You know, like and subscribe, all the YouTube BS. You guys already know what to do. Go visit his channel, run the numbers up. He needs more clout. Come on, this is our guy right here.
yeah.
1,200 games, 1,300 games, bro. He deserves it. He's getting it up. He's getting it up.
Yeah, go play 1,200 games right now.
And stop watching the anime. Play 1,200 games. Don't watch the anime.
Yeah, don't watch the anime. You're wasting time watching the anime.
Tell that to
I mean,
Derek.
it's
He's seen the entire anime 3 times.
I've seen it 2 times, and I've read the manga
Crazy.
2 times. I
could
know.
have just been grinding games, bro.
Low-key, you're low-key kind of convincing me, bro. Maybe I have to give up everything I love for power.
Yeah, quit playing yellow, Jaden.
No, yellow's the worst color now, so I'm haven't been playing it for a bit. There's only so much cope I can do, because like after 3 losses, I'm just like, all right, fuck this deck. I'm not playing this.
Yeah, yellow's bad right now for sure.
For sure, bro. We need heal 2 cards. If cards start healing you too, maybe we can come back.
I think it'd still be dog, dude. Yellow doesn't do anything to
Who knows?
Heal 2? What are you talking about,
It has to be on play and on KO though, not at the same time.
Okay, not at the same time at least. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Maybe.
I gotta head out. Thank you guys for listening.
Mhm.
Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify or wherever we're at. You guys have a lovely day. Peace.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
All right.